You told the New York Times that at times as a camera operator, Bradley Cooper was so close to you, at times he was like sitting on your lap. Like, how did that affect your performance?
Well, I mean, it was incredible. We've both spoken about it. That kind of intimacy, it's not just that in a way the camera becomes even more invisible, but he's literally able to whisper his own instincts as an actor and a filmmaker to you as the scene is going on. So if he's thinking, you can try, and as your writer, he's like, what if you said, or just go to each other or grab each other's hand or laugh together or have fun, play with the thing, put your head in her lap. All those, like, so you have an instinct to trust yourself in a take, and he's right there with you confirming the instinct and telling you to go further with it. And honestly, it radically saves time. Because you're in it, you're not cutting and then losing something and trying to get back into a scene. But it is a kind of intimacy you don't traditionally have on a movie. And I mean, I'm sure, especially for you, because it's also your husband in the movie. But there is something familial about the fact that he's this character of her husband and our best friend. We were just always all together.
Yeah. And I think actually to speak to that, I think what I love is what it did for the film is make the audience then also feel like one of us, And I thought that was something, watching it back, I'm like, wow, that is just such an extraordinary result, because there's such, I mean, we talked about it, you feel in that moment, it's, like she said, it's very efficient, but it also creates a real vulnerability because you're just like, wow, you know what I mean? You're right there, which I think, again, watching it back is just like, oh, wow, when you go on this journey with Tess and Alex, you go on this journey with Balls and Christine and with Stephen and Jeffrey, and you feel like you are discovering yourself and discovering your passion again as a viewer. And I thought that was just a really amazing, intentional, obviously, effect.
Amazing. Andra, your character has a really nice moment where she sings Amazing Grace, which I read was not in the script. So how did that come about?
That was just Bradley's brilliance, I think that's, obviously the writing of the script had this. Every time you do that, I'm like, sit up straight. Sitting up straight has been a theme for today.
For this whole movie.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, not studio back, interview back. No, but so I think that it was, the theme, though, of grace was a theme throughout the movie, which I thought, again, we've talked about Bradley sort of brilliantly, touch on the theme, one time, 2 times, 3 times, and it's, it actually becomes a theme of the movie, but in with humor, which I thought was, and as you had spoke about earlier, that it's something that's humorous that becomes, oh wait, this is actually really a thing, this is a very teachable moment and transformative moment. And so to be able to sing Amazing Grace, he called the night before and was like, what do you think about this? And I was like, whatever, sounds amazing, And so to be able to sing that with Sean Hayes, like harmonizing in his beautiful voice with Scott Eisenogel, his husband, who's amazing, and then for them to come down, I just thought, like, for me, being in the scene with these just brilliant actors, it really just made me feel closer to them. And I think, again, the other effect that it had was that, it grounded the friend group, I think. I think it really gave you an idea of who they are in their quiet moments. And I think it just added another 10 years to the friendship, another 15 years to the friendship. And you don't need any other context. You just know that this is who they are in those quiet moments.
And on the subject of music, Laura, what was it like shooting the scene where the kids finally perform Under Pressure?
Amazing. First of all, they worked so hard. Neither of them had played guitar and keyboard before, so they just put their heart and soul into it, and the girls were such incredible singers. And so, there was something so touching, but also to just have the movie, in terms of bookends, to have it start with a parent who is so checked out from his own life, and have the movie be this vibrant space where we're engaged and, with each other, with ourselves, with our family, I thought was a beautiful gift that Bradley had come up with as he was, framing this idea, having been at that very school, and sort of came up with the idea for that to bookend the movie. And that song, Under Pressure, was the perfect song for the movie, because it's inescapable that while we're loving and partnering and trying to engage in our lives and be inspired, the world is radically broken. And we have to find a way to find grace, literally, while all of that is happening also. And so I think Bradley really subtly played with the duality of where we're at in the world, and how we can somehow be hopeful at such a broken time. It feels impossible, but I think the movie is a beautiful reminder of that.
Andra, you've mentioned that your husband's character name is Balls. What do you think is the origin story of that?
You know what? The origin story, well, we spoke about it, just as we were developing these characters and their sort of backstory. And I think in their relationship that it was, he is, one of the ways I describe him as Christine's rebellion. I think they came from different backgrounds. He had talked about, his parents are like documentary filmmakers, right? And, I had a mother who was in education and a father who was a pastor, so I had a much more austere upbringing, and so he just represented, constantly chasing your passion. Like, he just represented pure passion, I think, for Christine. But the name, one of the things I did actually ask Bradley one day, I was like, I'm sorry, can we just make his name Baldwin and then Balls is his nickname? And he was like, I love that. That's great. I was like, thank you. So it was just, I think it's just the perfect name for this character. He's kind of like, one of the ways that we've just been describing him, he's actually a genius. He's sort of like this, unwitting savant, and he's kind of like the fool, but he ended up stumbling into this wisdom. And I think that there's aspects of that Christine sees, in him. And I think there's ways that he's probably been really revelatory for Christine, and I think Christine has been very grounding, and very to the point, and I'm very much a truth teller for him. So, his name is Baldwin, okay? So
Great context. Laura, it's very amusing to us in the UK that this film is partially based on the life of John Bishop. And I read that you spent some time with his wife, Melanie. Like, what kind of questions did you ask her to help prepare you for this role?
Well, what was incredible was that the origin story that inspired first Will Arnett when he heard the story from John was that John literally stumbled into his life's passion when things were the most broken. And the passion wasn't first comedy, it was finding a place to figure out what you were feeling in a moment. That he literally signed up for an open mic just to not have to pay the cover at a bar. And from it felt like this was a place where he could start talking about his feelings, and it was the thing that brought him back to his marriage and his partner. So that idea was so fascinating to Will, to Mark Chappell, his writing partner, to Bradley, and to all of us. And so to talk to Melanie about what it was like to discover the person you thought you'd found when you first fell in love was something very beautiful. This idea of, as he rediscovered himself, she got to rediscover him, and therefore she found her way back to herself. But also their kind of affair that they were hiding from their friends. Right. All of that, true, is so inspiring. So, asking details about that, falling back in love while you've already made a family together, setting boundaries, 20 some odd years into a relationship. All of that was fascinating. And just the little anecdotal stories she was willing to share, I think, deeply inspired me and hopefully the film as well.
Yeah. This film on paper is about stand-up comedy. What makes you guys laugh?
Oh.
Well, she makes me laugh.
Yeah, she makes
Will Arnett makes me laugh. Bradley makes me laugh. It's a funny group.
Yes,
where,
sure. Yeah.
Scotty and Sean, like we had really hilarious group.
Yeah.
But what doesn't make me laugh is the idea of doing stand-up.
Yeah, no, at
On
all.
any level.
At all.
Nothing
I kept
funny
saying that.
about
I was
it.
like, if someone had asked me, like, oh, you can sign up to do stand-up or pay $15, I don't care if the cover is $500.
Me
I'm going to
neither.
lose $500
I'm like,
that
literally,
day.
I will beg
Like,
people
it's
on
not
the
happening.
street. Yeah, I am never signing up.
I'll pay anyone and everyone to get me out of doing stand-up. So
Just because what's funny isn't performative to me.
Yes,
I
100%,
can't,
yeah.
like the idea of like come up with a joke.
yeah.
What is funny is genuinely in the moment,
Yes,
finding the
that's-
people that make you laugh.
And you are funny, but
And
like
you are
standing up to be like, oh, like someone said that to me the other day. They're like, you should do it because you're funny. I'm like, no, I would be unfunny immediately as soon
Yeah.
as I stood in front of that microphone. But no, I mean, I think the other thing, she makes me laugh. Will actually, what was funny while we were on set, I think because he's such a funny person. And so to play this person who's supposedly, I mean, I wouldn't say he's not funny, right? Because the whole friend group acknowledges that he's always a funny guy. But I feel like he had to play so many serious moments. So I feel like he would just like blow off steam with us. Anytime they yelled cut, he'd come, he'd like crack 10 jokes and then like take off
constantly.
again. Yeah. So
Yeah. And he likes a punchline.
Yeah,
he
for
likes
sure.
to
He
land
loves
the
it.
joke. So it's a very different rhythm of what's funny. So he's a perfect stand-up.
Yes, for sure. He's willing to put himself on the chopping block for that.
And another one for both of you. What was your last meaningful experience at the cinema?
Oh, wow.
Is it not like in good taste to plug our own movie and say, I saw Is This Thing On? And it was so, no, I'm just kidding.
But it is kind of true that we're catching up to movies when we can find them. But when you're doing press for a movie,
for sure.
it is the movie you've last seen
100%,
in the theaters.
Over and over
it
again.
was meaningful.
Yes. We're not making this up, you guys.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think we've all said that as we've gone through the press of the movie, we've discovered like, wow, this movie actually really met us or either impacted us in a crazy way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I feel like we all felt like we're also at a crossroads. Like, who
Yes.
are we? And so it kind of was serendipitous. It all sort of came, or as I say, divinely orchestrated. Like it just feel like it found us, at the right time. So yeah, I'm sorry if that's like
Yeah.
the cheat code, but our own movie, yes. It was.
Yes, our own movie was our last cinematic experience.
One for you, Andra. In many ways, this is a film about dreams, finding them, evolving them, like chasing them down, deferring them at times. Like, what is the wildest thing that you've done in pursuit of your own dreams?
Ooh, wow. Great question.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Okay, most of the wildest things I've done in pursuit of my dream, like trying to make it, basically, it's like, it's not cool stuff, but I think what's the wildest thing? So many. I don't know. First of all, I've had like 25 different jobs trying to make this work. So just an FYI, when people are like, we're going to call your references, it's bullshit. Like, if after the 12th job, if you're still hiring me, like there's no way you're calling my references. So anyway, if that encourages people on the 17th job, go after it. But I think the craziest thing I've done is like, I used to go to kids' parties dressed up as like different like kids characters, like cartoon characters, Mickey Mouse. I played Minnie. I played Elmo.
Oh my God, have you really?
I even played Dora the Explorer, which was good because I'm from San Diego, so I could flex my Spanish a little. But I kept kids from fighting each other at a Princess Tiana party. I got stuck in a corner playing Minnie Mouse because we hired a 6-foot alien rat for their 1-year-old's birthday party, and she was not happy about it. I don't know. I think that was probably the craziest job I've had trying to make this work. Anything for the dream.
I love it. Oh my God, that's amazing.
And look at you now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
look at me now. Still just playing characters. Yeah.
Well,
so,
and all those characters have influenced
there you go, right.
all that you are.
yeah, I tapped into a lot of deep Minnie Mouse work for
love.
Christine. I'm just kidding.
Amazing.